Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video, and in this tutorial what I'm going to be doing is I want to talk to you guys about editing and a little more in detail about formatting the individual cells in a worksheet. But before I begin, I want to mention one thing. In a lot of these upcoming videos, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be working with a bunch of data that I either downloaded from the internet or maybe I just made it up off the top of my head, just a bunch of sample data. And instead of taking like 5 minutes and typing it all in, which would be an incredible waste of time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of these files and post them on my website so you guys can just download them for free. So if you go to this link right here, or if you go to my forum in the Microsoft category, it's a thread called example files. Again, there's only one link in here right now, but eventually, once I start making more videos and start making more projects, there's going to be all of my example files that I'm working with. So for right now, just click on this one. It's called Fantasy Hockey Game, and that's what this is right here. So open it up, and this is what you'll see. So again, none of those are gonna cost anything. They're all gonna be free. Don't worry about it. It just saves you a bunch of time from typing everything out. Actually, I gotta tell you guys a story real quick. When I was in college, this was a few years ago, I took a class in Excel, and for like half an hour at the beginning of each lesson, my teacher put it was like a slide of this up on the big board, and he made us type it all out. And I'm like, dude, you're a computer teacher. Just like send us the files. And also, if we missed anything, like if we spelled anyone's name wrong, then he would take points off. I'm like, this class sucks, and that's why I eventually, well, I eventually dropped out of college, not because of that, but because of dumb things like that. So, I just had to vent a little bit. My bad. All right. So for this, it really doesn't matter what type of data you have, since we're just going to be like clicking cells, learning how to use them. But I'll explain to you guys what this is real quick. If you, I don't know, if you're just curious. I play a game online because I'm a big hockey fan. So this game that I play online, that's where this data's from. And what it is every player starts out with $50,000. It's just pretend money. Really wish I had $50,000 real money. But with the $50,000, you pick whatever players you think are going to do good that night. And the players that usually do better, for example, this guy's pretty good, Zach Parise. He's worth $7,800. The players that usually don't do that good, like John Moore, he's a defenseman. He only scores like 1.5 point each night, so he only costs $2,500. So again, that's what the game is. It doesn't really matter. This is just an example. But if anyone was wondering, that's what data you're looking at right now. So let's go ahead and start learning what I meant to teach in this tutorial. So the first thing I want to explain to you guys is this. We already learned last time how to insert data in cells. You pretty much click a cell until it becomes the active cell, and you type something in there, like Bucky. And look at that, I just spelled my name wrong. So the first thing that we should learn is how to get data out of the cells, or how to delete data. Well, it's pretty simple, pretty intuitive. All you do is you select the cell and you hit delete on your keyboard. Simple enough. Now you can also delete a range of cells at one time, so select a multiple range and hit delete. And of course, this deletes the data in the cell. And another thing that you can do is if you actually highlight an entire column like this and hit delete, it deletes all of the data in that column. Now, if you hit Control Z, let me undo that. Say that you wanted to do this. Say that you just didn't want to make all of these cells blank, but you actually just wanted to get rid of this entire column. Because I really don't care about this game info, let's say I really don't need it for whatever program I'm making. Now, if I just highlight that and hit delete, I'm left with a blank column, and it doesn't look that great. So instead, what I can do is right click this column and hit delete, and it gets rid of it completely, like it never existed. So that's the difference between right clicking and delete and the delete button on your keyboard. So another thing that I want to show you guys how to do is how to edit some data in a column. So say that this guy's name was spelled incorrectly, which it isn't, this is the correct spelling, but say that his name was Darcy Cooper. So if you ever click this and just start typing, what it's going to do as soon as you start typing is it's going to clear everything out and start it from scratch. Now sometimes that's not what we want. Sometimes we just want to edit part of this without having to delete everything. Look at that, as soon as we start typing. So how do we do that? Well, in order just to edit the contents of the cell without deleting anything, you can either just double click it, and what's that going to do is it's going to put your cursor right in there, so now you can move around and put, I don't know, maybe something like that, Darcy Cooper. Another thing that you can do is you can just select a cell and hit F2. Now if I do that, it accomplishes the same thing. So again, double click or select a cell and hit F2. And the last way, and this is how I always edit, is if you select a cell, you can just edit it right on top here. This is called the formula bar, and I don't know why I like it so much. Maybe because it gives you a little more control, like you can expand it and contract it if you want. It's just I don't know, I'm more comfortable working with a big area than I am in a little cell. So again, 3 different ways. If you just want to edit data inside a cell, double click it or select it and press F2, or just select it and edit whatever you want in the formula bar right up there. Now another cool tip that actually even people that have been working with Excel for a long time, they really don't I guess I noticed that they really don't do this too often. Whenever you want to add data to multiple cells at once, this is what you do. You select a range of cells just like this, and you can start typing your data like Bucky. Now if you hit enter, it only adds the data to that very first cell, the active cell that you selected, even though you selected a range of cells like this. So in order to add my name Bucky to all of these cells at once, this is what I do. Select these multiple cells, type whatever I want to add, and then if I hold down Control on my keyboard and hit enter, check it out. It fills in all of those cells with whatever I typed in that very first cell. So again, type your data, hold down Control and hit enter, and boom, you're good to go. Now, the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is this. This is something that annoys a lot of people, so I figured that I'll show you right now. Actually, let's go ahead and delete this because it's annoying me. Select it all, hit delete. Whenever you're working in a spreadsheet program and you want to add text to multiple lines within the same cell, you might think you'd do something like this. So say that I wanted to type I don't know what, I'll just type my name again. So Bucky, and then within the same cell, within F1, I wanted to move to a new line and type I don't know, something about myself. So I would just go ahead and hit enter, and crap, look at that. It actually moved me down a whole cell, and I just wanted to move to a new line in this cell. So I can't hit enter, and that's usually what I do in most programs. So in order to accomplish that, what you want to do is double click the cell that you want to add multiple lines to, and whenever your cursor gets to the point where you actually want to move to the next line, hold down Alt and hit enter on your keyboard. Now as you can see, instead of just moving your active cell to the next line, it stays in that same active cell, F1, but now you can type something like Roberts, hit enter, and check it out. Now F1 is made up of multiple lines. Pretty stinking sweet if you ask me. So again, that's Alt Enter, and what that does is it allows you to move multiple lines or type multiple lines in the same active cell. Pretty stinking sweet. Thank you guys for watching. That's all I have for this tutorial. The next tutorial is actually going to be really cool, so don't forget to check it out. I'll see you then.